Hello and welcome to another episode of inPharma. This week we'll be meeting some of the editorial team based in the UK, where we'll find out more about what it is they do on a day-to-day basis. Good morning, what's your name?
I'm Ellie Malone. I am the Editor-in-Chief of the Commercial Insights products, which means I'm overseeing the content of Scrip, In Vivo and Generics Bulletin. So the biggest publication I oversee in terms of kind of readership is Scrip. It's been around since the 70s, been through various ownership, changes of hands. And that team is made up of a team in the UK, 4 people writing here, and an equivalent team in the US. And those teams are meeting every day to plan what they do and hand over to the next region. And then there's also a team in Asia, which is overseen by a separate editor-in-chief. So the second publication is Generics Bulletin. It's a publication that covers the generics industry. There is an editor here in the UK, David Wallace, who oversees a team of writers. The third publication that I oversee is In Vivo, and that has its origins as a glossy magazine. And although it's no longer in print, it's web only, it's still longer form features, taking a step back and looking at trends in the industry, providing lots of data to show context, and serving kind of C-suite pharma and medtech audience. I'm in what we've recently created, which is the commercial domain, and my 3 publications, along with a medtech and a health, beauty and wellness insights publication, form part of this commercial domain with other Pharma Intelligence products also. So Data Monitor Healthcare, Biomed Tracker, Pharma Premier, and we're all serving that commercial persona.
Do you often come into the office?
I come in twice a week, yeah.
You come in twice a week, and your team like that?
We don't have set desks, we have hot desks. It's a real mixture actually, because my team is spread out across the UK. I also oversee a team in the US, and they are also from East Coast to West. We're a very close-knit team, even though we don't all see each other very often. We have an annual get-together where the UK team comes together in London, and last time we had one, we went and helped out on a farm and then spent some time thinking about our processes and our content and, improving what we do, learning new skills, discussing, just taking a step back and thinking about things. So at lunchtime we have a weekly UK editorial call, and that brings together the publications that I cover, but also Pink Sheet, which is in the regulatory domain. So we'll be talking to those writers about what are they doing and what are we doing and where do they overlap and how can we differentiate but share information, contacts, understanding of what's happening. And that team is led by Maureen Kenny.
And how long have you been at Pharma Intelligence?
I have been here for almost 22 years. I joined Scrip in the year 2000 as a business reporter.
So what is it that's kept you here for so long?
I think a couple of things. The industry is really interesting. It's so fascinating to cover. It's kind of fun to be a news writer and achieve something every day. There's, early days when I was actually doing a lot more writing, to end your day having produced something and you've published. That's a nice feeling. Don't love long deadlines. I wouldn't want to be a report writer or anything, waiting for months to publish. So that kind of kick of the adrenaline, the story, the pursuit, and then the publishing, that's good. The industry, as I mentioned, is just a really fascinating industry, the regulation around it. The fact that it really impacts on people's lives, the controversy about pricing, or there's always something interesting. And obviously, in the last couple of years, it's been central to how we face a pandemic. So that's really interesting. It's just never boring. And then the company. The people I work with, I really respect. I've got colleagues who've been here a lot longer than me, believe it or not. They're so expert. I'm really, very kind and supportive and willing to share what they know and help bring everyone else along. It's a lovely team to work for. And also we have newer people, and they're also really inspiring and teaching us new things, and coming into the company with skills that we didn't ever need when we started, talking about digital writing and infographics and so on, and podcasting. So lovely. I love working here. Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
Hi, my name's Andrea Charles and I'm the head of custom content. So I'm responsible for the custom content creation and bespoke content creation. Unlike the other editors-in-chief, I work predominantly with clients and partners to ensure that we create thought leadership for them. And this can be anything from podcasts to articles, white papers, and also events. In the past couple of years, we've seen a huge upsurge in virtual events and virtual offerings and roundtables. So my team consists of 3 direct reports. So the managing editor of custom content. We also have a custom content writer who's based in the US, which was newly appointed last year. And also the editor of Chemist and Druggist, which also has a team of 5 people under it. Yeah, so working across time zones can be a challenge and not a challenge. There are obviously benefits to being able to do calls at different times. I prefer sometimes to actually do calls when the kids are in bed. But there's also the issue of between sort of 2 and 5 GMT. Those are really our golden hours where the whole team can be together. So sometimes you will find that you have a series of back-to-back calls. But it's really great to get the whole team together in person. We're actually in a couple of weeks, the whole global team, marketing services, custom content are coming together for a whole week of sessions, and it's a really great opportunity to collaborate, to innovate, to strategize, and also have some fun. I think reconnecting in person has been vitally important. It's important for cross-collaboration and networking internally. What I found when I joined inPharma, my role was a new role, and had I not been in the office, I don't think I would have made the connections and been as successful in my role as I was. I'm a strong believer that for onboarding, it's important to have some in-person, face-to-face time. But I also do like the blended working model. As a mother of 2, it enables me to work a full-time job while also supporting my family. I would like to say on like a fun level, because I said that I was going to get the word party into here, but as an unofficial party chairman of editorial, that it's really important to just get the team together, to reward them for their successes and also to have some fun. I think what has kept me here for 5 years is that we have sort of self-autonomy in our roles. If you have an idea, you're encouraged to drive that forward. I would also say the people have kept me here. It's always good to be able to work with a good team. Not to say that we haven't had days where you've had a lot of hard work to do, but there's also that team collaborative spirit. And as a company itself, the ethos, I would say that it's very, that you're independent. There's some companies, I would say, where there's issues around stuff like blended learning and trust around people doing their hours, whereas here you've always been respected that if you do the job, no one really minds what hours you are doing those in. I think one of the key tenets for me is that here I've always felt that the company doesn't mind what hours you keep as long as the job gets done, which I think is vitally important. And it's also important that trust goes both ways.
Hello. So what is it you do?
So I'm a managing editor for our custom content division. So working almost as a bridge between our sales team and editorial to offer different marketing services, products, different content options for our clients to tap into the strong editorial brands that we've got. Yeah, we were a fairly small team, but we're growing. We've got another person based out in the US, Laurie, as well.
Oh.
So I started in January of 2020, so I was just before COVID, so it's been an interesting couple of years to be in pharma, for sure.
And what would you say are like the best things about being in?
Everyone is amazing at what they do, knows a lot in terms of subject matter expertise within editorial especially. The level of knowledge is crazy, and so it's been amazing to learn from them. Bit of a baptism of fire coming from someone who had no idea about anything pharma before joining. But
other than work-related stuff, like what do you do within pharma?
We actually recently did a couple of one volunteering day, soon to be 2, with the White Eagle Club in Balham, so they were collecting donations to be sent to Ukraine. So it's nice to be able to do, extracurriculars as well and work those into our working lives. So we get 2 of those a year. So we're planning on going back and doing another one in the next few weeks as well. 2 additional days a year. So you have your annual leave allocation, but you also have the opportunity to take 2 further days without cutting into your holiday. That's a company-wide policy, but yeah, something that's really nice to be able to do and encouraged, especially within my team, to actually utilise those days and tap into them. Then yeah, socially obviously as well, there's always a lot going on within the team, so it's always nice to be able to, go do activities, go out for drinks, dinners, that type of thing as well.
Andrew.
Yeah, and what do you do?
Well, I'm on a graduate scheme at inPharma, but right now I'm working with inVivo and within the editorial teams in Pharma Intelligence. So I've been with inVivo for 6 months, and I'm a writer, so I actually write some feature stories for inVivo, and I also contribute to just some of the general editorial tasks for the business.
So what's been your favourite project that you've worked on, something like that?
I think it's definitely writing I wrote a feature story about cervical cancer, and I had the opportunity to interview a CEO of a large biotech company. So I think that was a really good way of understanding the industry, but also talking to a leading member of that field, within that field.
It's your last day, right?
Yeah, I leave an impression. I think it's a dedicated team of specialists who are really supporting and encouraging, and they produce some high quality content.
Okay, and would you work for Pharma Intelligence again in the future?
Yes, I would actually. I think maybe not in a necessarily an editorial role, but I think it's a great company to work for, and it's got some great people as well.
Hello.
Hello,
Who are you?
Lucile.
Okay, and what do you do?
I'm the executive editor for inVivo. We're a news and insights and long-form journalism publication for the pharma and medtech audiences. We're commercial in our focus, but where we have sort of news publications, we sit sort of above those and look at long-form topics and longer picture and publish on a slightly different schedule. Historically, it used to be a monthly magazine publication, now solely online, but still in that kind of format.
And how long have you been at Pharma Intelligence?
Nearly 10 years now, quite a while.
Wow. And what's kept you here?
There's always something new. Technology changes, the industry changes, roles change. It's exciting. It's a good industry to be in. I think the last couple of years has shown a lot of people that there's a lot of insight to be had here.
Yeah. Okay, and you're in the office today. Are you always in the office?
I'm not, so I've been a home worker before it was cool, so for quite a long time, but I make an appearance, try to do about monthly. That's obviously changed a bit with COVID, but back in a little bit now.